Long ago, when dueling was still young, an archetype was created, coded in ancient ritual, and bathed in sacrifice. These ancient warriors, known as gladiators, participated in duels to entertain the people on behalf of their emperor, bread, and circuses. In those times, most men escaped the Colosseum's cage with their lives. Most men. The time has come to break free from the chains that bind and prepare your dueling spirit for enlightenment as I introduce a new method of dueling to the Colosseum. Behold, salvation from Tier 0 metagames. Behold, the artificial intelligence that solves Yu-Gi-Oh! Behold, the equation that draws the perfect hand. The time has finally come to democratize all of Yu-Gi-Oh's competitive knowledge and put it in the hand of every duelist in the world. The time has finally come to never miss. Yes, my boys. Always funny coming off the transition off of that. But yeah, we getting in there, my boys. I am a proud father. I am a proud father in many ways. I forget which philosopher and or poet who talked about how amazing it is, how much of an honor it is to be a father. And I will just add to the lexicon of those opinions. It's a great honor to be a father of many things, a father of the duel, my boy, because today we are getting in there with a deck that is insanity, and I'm gonna give you a first-hand window into the creation of the Dark Element Gate Guardian deck. I'm going to give you the full process on how I use the AI to build my deck. And also, I'm going to show you the third summon, my boy. I'm going to show you how this deck is a 99% consistency rate, my boy. But here's the drawback. Here's the part that you're not gonna like. There's no one card combo, my boy. There's no one card combo in this deck. These combos come out, they're very unique, they're very cool, but unfortunately, it requires 2 cards. So I used a different method to build the deck because, as you know, for me, this deck is a foreign deck. I've never played this deck before, but it's not a foreign style because this is a fusion deck just like the Gladiator Beast deck, but not using polymerization, but using contact fusion. And not to mention the Paradox Brothers from a time long ago. So I'm in my element. Or should I say I'm in my dark element, my boy. Now listen, I'm out here casually, out of nowhere, at my own willpower. When I got over, here's my tragic anime origin story. I had an origin story back when the Hazy Flame began. Here's the origin story for when the AI began. Started a year ago when I lost my job. Took me 1 whole year to fully understand where I was in the economy, what was going on, and how much of it was just out of my control. So I just used all my skills that I've acquired from working a very professional career in the technology space to create tools for duelists to get better playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Now listen, just like your anime protagonist, I am dueling for my life. Just like your anime protagonist, I am using Yu-Gi-Oh! To live. So support your boy with the like, support your boy with the subscribe, use the tools, read the book for free on KindleUnlimited.com. Check out the AI. It's powered by Microsoft and OpenAI. Come on. It's trillions of dollars behind this. Trillions of dollars. Built a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck. And YTDan put it in your hands. Come on. Support your boy with a simple like. Support your boy with a simple comment. Support your boy. That's it. Now, I've got a lot of notes. As you can see, we're getting started on this, and I really want to only do this like one time because this is a bit of a process, and also we're short on time, my boy. Short on time. But guess what? It was still time for that dog-ass intro's good. So I feel good talking about it because this is an amazing deck, and you might not think it's competitively viable because, you know, you might not think that, but there are duelists that are in my audience that know I don't bring nothing unless it's fire. So listen, the first thing I want to point out is this deck, I call it the dark distribution. Let me make sure my setup looks nice here. Oh, it looks perfect. Okay, good. I call this deck the dark distribution, 99%. Because the way that this deck breaks down, if you remember my explanation from the Hypergeometric Distribution video, which you should check out if you haven't already, we are shooting for a consistency rate of opening a specific cards, a specific set of cards in our opening hand to complete a specific goal. So in order to do that, the reason why I call this the 99% distribution rate is because when you get done with the starters and extenders in this deck, when you add it all up, it's 33 starters in this deck. So that gives it a 99% distribution rate of opening at least 2 cards, and you need at least 2 cards to make the combos work in this deck. But the 2 cards that you need to go crazy in the deck are 2 very specific cards where the numbers get different. But then again, this is why I'm telling you about these numbers from the beginning, because this is all just very interesting and you need a little bit of context as we get in there. So let me just make sure I got me chat up here so I can read your chats as I am going. And this is the first deck that has ever been built with AI. So I'm gonna tell you the process. So I initially didn't know anything about this deck, and I wanted to learn more about this deck. I was interested in this deck only. I promise you, I was never even looking at this deck until I saw this card, the Dark Element. This card says, if you have a Gate Guardian monster in your graveyard, pay half your life points. Okay, I like that already. And special summon one a level 11 or higher Gate Guardian from your hand, deck, or extra deck, ignoring the summoning conditions, period. Bring them from anywhere? Gate Guardian? What can you summon from this? This image is so dramatic. It got me pumped up. I'm not even gonna lie. I opened up packs and I saw this. We're gonna open some packs after this because we've got to get to the voiceless voice. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna open some packs before we go into it, but I just wanted to talk about this a little bit and talk about the AI and how we got into this process in the beginning in general. So I saw this card and I read that first line and it said summon level 11 or higher Gate Guardian monster. I don't know of any other monsters, but the first one came to mind was this one. And like many people, I thought this was an Omni Negate. So I was like, pay 4,000 for an Omni Negate? That's broken. So I wrote that down that this is what I was gonna try. Then I was disappointed. Must be special summon for an extra deck by using the cards from the hand, field, or graveyard. So it's still good. But it says when your opponent activates a card effect that targets. No! Targets a card, quick effect, negate, and destroy. Okay, that card, which is fine. And you can only use this effect thrice per turn, which is crazy. You can use, and this is one of the rare set of cards that say thrice. So we love this card, which is why I was so hyped about the dark element, which inspired me to ask the AI these questions about the deck and everything. So we're gonna get to the AI one more second. All right. If this card is special summoned in its owner's control, leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can special summon one a level 11 or lower Gate Guardian monster from your deck, extra deck, ignoring summoning conditions. They're breaking all the rules. So now I'm like, what can I use this for? Like, how can I implement this card, and what are they talking about other cards it can summon? It's talking about summoning Gate Guardian of the Water, and it's talking about summoning Gate Guardian of the Wind. It's talking about summoning those cards, which we can talk about a little bit later. But the one that pushed me over the edge and made me want to play the deck, hands down, 110%. Your boys, y'all know me. 110%, y'all know me. So what made me want to play this 100%? I had to just double check, make sure everything was copacetic. Made me want to play this was this card, the Dark Guardian. This card is crazy. It's a towers, so I don't have a lot of decks with towers monsters. So this is my only towers deck. So okay, cool. It's a towers, so it's a new strategy. So control. So when you see towers, what are you thinking with the towers? You're thinking, where's my little notes here? You're thinking control, stun, combo when you see towers. But anyway, towers, Dark Guardian, cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned with the power of Dark Element, or special summoned from the hand or the graveyard by shuffling into the deck one of each. Sanga of the Thunder, Kasijin, and Suhijin. We will get to this in 1 second. From your hand or the graveyard or the banished zone, put him back and bring this guy out. He can't die by battle, but if you brought him out with the power of the Dark Element, he's unaffected by monster effects and your opponent's activated spell cards. So this guy is immune to everything, you know, north of a trap card. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, this towers at 3838 is going to be clapping cheeks after the opponent has taken a trip through the labyrinth. Now we can talk about this archetype, because now y'all don't understand. The AI has put this together, and now I understand what was going on. So what you are looking at here above me is the report. I make a report every time I make a deck, and I type it up and I put it in a Word doc. I turn it into a PDF and I give it to the AI. So I'm going to read you my report. I'm going to read you my report, because after I read you this report, after telling you that little bit of stuff, we're going to open some packs, and I'm going to let this settle in, and then we're going to get into the demonstration. And if we got time, we're going to do a duel, but you're going to get a video of this, but not a video of this. You're going to get a new video of this, because I like the deck that much. But let's get into it. Here's my document. Dark Element, Gate Guardian deck. This is a 40-card combo stun and control deck, optimized for building and maintaining a lead in a duel through targeted destruction and floodgates. The objective is to make the opponent feel trapped in a labyrinth, and their destruction is illustrated literally on the walls. The writing is on the walls when you are dueling against the dark distribution. Come on, man. Give me a goddamn like for this, man. Come on, man. I'm going full time on this right now. This is full time. I'm clocked in. Now listen. The win condition. This is a go first deck, which requires at least 2 starter cards to play. The goal is to win on turn 3 going first, or turn 2 going second when possible, because it's got OTK potential. But OTK ain't the goal, because what kind of deck are we? We are a stun combo control, stun and control. OTK is not in there, but the nature of Yu-Gi-Oh! Requires me to kill you on the 3rd turn if I can, okay? Or maintain tempo. We either maintain tempo or kill. That's just what you do to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay? Thanks for the sub, my boy. Now I'm going to advance the report. Any 2 cards that will be placed or simulate the Guardian cards, which are Sanga of Thunder, Suijin, and Kazijin, on the field in the spell and trap zones. Oh, sorry. Basically, the objective is to place any 2 cards, any of those 2 cards. So basically, the objective is to place any of these 3 cards in the spell trap zone or on the field as a monster. And also, you don't have to worry about being 100% accurate when you're typing stuff up, because the good thing about the AI that goes through ChatGPT is that it is good at understanding what you meant, but sometimes if you don't say the right thing, you got to go back and correct it, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway, the objective is to manipulate the 3 Guardian cards from the deck, hand, graveyard, spell trap zone, or face up banish to the field using starter cards. So basically, I'm letting the AI know that the whole plan is to just get these 2 on the field. That's the whole point. To summon Gate Guardian, Thunder, and Wind. So the idea is to summon this card. If we can get 2 Guardian cards, and this is what's cool about this deck. This is what's so amazing about this deck, because this deck is built just like the episodes of the Paradox Brothers, right? Because on the Paradox Brothers episodes, they had to set 3 Guardian pieces, and by setting the 3 Guardian pieces, they were able to do the combo. But the cool thing about it, within the labyrinth, as long as the Guardian pieces are around, you can always do the combo. The only way the Guardian pieces don't exist is when the Guardian pieces exit the labyrinth, meaning they're banished face down. That's so cool about the deck. That makes me want to play it. This is stuff that I start to realize as I'm working with it, and I made this deck literally over the last 12 hours, because anytime I make a deck, I always go to sleep first and wake up and try again, because I get fatigued after a long period of time. So I like to rest and then take another look. And after I took another look this morning, I was able to get my combos together, but all last night I was putting it together and researching and AIing and stuff. But anyway, where did I leave off? Oh, I was telling you about Gate Guardian of Thunder and Wind. So during the main phase, you can add one spell or trap directly from the deck. So this isn't distribution. This is a different principle. We'll talk about that in another video. But we're gonna go and access these cards that are directly in the deck and put it directly into our hand. Because we do that, it gives us the ability to do something incredible. But we're gonna get to that later in our report. And basically any card that mentions the Guardians, right? You can only use the effect of this card once per turn, and if this face-up special summon card on its owner's field leaves the field because of an opponent's card, special summon one banished Sanga of Thunder or Kasijin. You might not ever get to use that because your boy don't leave no resources on the table. Hit the like button for my resource utilization. Come on. I've got those resource management skills, my boy. Now, because of his effect, giving us the ability to choose two cards, we can choose between two cards. We can choose the double attack Wind and Thunder, or we can choose the Dark Element. Now, this decision is made if it is possible to link Gate Guardian of Thunder and Wind into Cross Sheep, which will allow us to activate Dark Element to summon the combined, which is this. But if we summon under Cross Sheep, we bring back a beast. So again, this is all aligned in our combo. But if we cannot link into Cross Sheep for some reason, all we got is the double attack. We can search for double attack, and double attack will give us a targeted pop of any card on the field, my boy. So any card on the field. Now, what else do we got? We're not done yet. We're far from done. Now, Dark Element, Cross Sheep, If we cannot get, yeah, there you go. If you cannot get it, you get the double attack. Okay, now we are in the starters. We are in the key cards. I actually spelled that like a madman. We are in the key cards. Now look, key cards in this deck. We have our, and I broke it down. We have 19 key card starters. I don't count the extenders as key cards yet, but you'll understand why that happened later on in my reasoning. But the key card starters are 13 Guardian starters is what I'm identifying them as in this deck. And then we also have 5 of the King Sarcophagus starters. And because we got the 5 King Sarcophagus starters and we got the 13 Guardian starters, that's 19 starters altogether. So what are my starters? Starters are Fusion Deployment to pretty much special summon a Guardian. Fusion Armament to special summon a Guardian. Elemental Hero Prisma. Where's he at? Pretty much to take the name of a Guardian. And then there's cards associated with Prisma, which is Reinforcements of the Army, Emergency Call, and The Hero Lives, which all get Prisma, who all take the name of Guardian. So all these cards have the name of Guardian. And if we can take a name of Guardian and put one in the monster zone, hold up a second, check this out. If we can take a monster and put it in the monster zone, ka-chink, and then we can take a monster and put it in the spell trap zone, ka-chink, guess what that looks like? That looks like we're setting the monsters up just like in the anime, just like in the Labyrinth, man. Come on, man. What are they doing? Whoever set this deck up is a madman of card design. Whoever did this, Yu-Gi-Oh! Goes so unappreciated for his card design. Everybody talks about how fast the game is, but look at how beautiful and synergistic this card design is and how it's coming together just like an anime episode if you do it correctly. but you've got to know these skills. And the only way you're gonna unlock them is if you practice and get good the correct way, which is the mathematical way, which is the systematic way, which is the fundamental way. Read the book for free, use the AI for free, and get in there with me. Come on. What are you doing? You're waiting. You're waiting. You're waiting. You're waiting. You're gonna hold every L. Forget it. You don't want the dub. I don't think you want it. I don't think you want it. So let's keep going and talk more about these cards. Now, we did not get into the other Guardian cards, the other Guardian starters. What are the other Guardian starters? Labyrinth Wall Shadow. This card is crazy. This card is a floodgate on attacks. What? It's a floodgate on attacks, and it places a Guardian card. Okay. Monsters cannot attack the turn they are summoned, except monsters whose original level is level 5 or higher. Nobody whose level is modded, nobody from the extra deck unless you're a fusion or maybe a synchro, but as odds are you're not going to be able to get going. Once per turn during your main phase, you can place a Guardian card that is in the banished, pretty much anywhere, into the spell trap zone as a continuous spell. At the start of the opponent's battle phase, you can target one monster your opponent controls with less than 1600 attack. Guess who has 1600 attack and is pretty dangerous if he can't be killed by battle? This card is perfect in the Labyrinth with 1600 attack. You're helpless against this card in the Labyrinth. Not to mention, if I have the Labyrinth Wall Shadow on the field, my other starter card, Shadow Ghoul of the Labyrinth, may be in the graveyard. And if that's the case, check it out. At the start of the damage step, if your opponent's monster battles while you control a Labyrinth Wall, if your opponent tries to battle in the Labyrinth Wall, if their opponent's monster is over 1600 attack, if the opponent's monster hasn't been killed by Ninja, if the opponent's monster has came through quietly and has not targeted a single card, at the start of the damage step, that monster will be destroyed. Come on, man. Come on, man. Look at this. Look at this. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. And all of this stuff pops off. 2 cards. 2 cards. 2 cards. Because this is after I got a chance to think about it after we went through the process and I did a bunch of stuff. I do this type up of the deck and stuff once I figured out the deck and I figured I've solved it for now, and I'm bringing it to the AI like, tell me what's up, and I want an analysis. I want you to tell me this and that. So we're gonna do that right now. Well, not right now, but we're gonna do that after we get those packs. All right, so Labyrinth Wall Shadow, we talked about the Shadow Ghoul, and this says note, we do not use Labyrinth Heavy Tank. Right, you're probably saying, Dan, why aren't you using Labyrinth Wall, you absolute maniac? And even though I could use Labyrinth Wall with Magical Labyrinth and Wall Shadow, even though I could do that combo, it's just not good enough for what we're trying to do, which is why I don't run the Labyrinth Heavy Tank. Because the Labyrinth Heavy Tank, even though it does set a set a Gate Guardian card into the spell trap zone, although it does do that, and it does have some potential to get a pop going, although it does consume a normal summon, and also it consumes a monster slot, which I feel is relevant in Master Duel, but it consumes too much space because the deck is so refined that the normal summon needs to be focused on Prisma. So we don't use this card. And I put that note in there so that the AI did not recommend this to me at all. So King Sarcophagus, in order to run that, we're running 2 of the King Sarcophagus, and then we're running 3 of the Mseti. But we are not running all 3 of the Horus cards, because we only need Blessings to draw if a card is removed, and we only need Happy to return cards that are banished, because we have face-up cards that are banished, and this just helps in our recursion. Also, we needed to minimize our engine cards, which we will get to in a minute. So now we're at the extenders. And I said, though the deck is 40 cards, many of the cards overlap as starters and extenders in execution. These plays become live when the starter combo is completed by link summoning Cross Sheep. And then I basically list out the extenders. So basically the extenders overlap, which are Mseti, King Sarcophagus, Fusion Deployment, Fusion Armament, A Hero Lives, Nemesis, Flag. I didn't mention the Nemesises yet, and we're going to talk about that right now. Nemesis Flag, Nemesis Corridor, Emergency Call, and Reinforcements of the Army, and Goblinberg. We are running 1 copy of Goblinberg because we run 3 copies of Prisma and 1 copy of Reinforcements of the Army. We need an alternative target for Reinforcements of the Army, and a target for Goblinberg will help us link into Cross Sheep. So that's why we run 1 Goblinberg. And then also the Nemesis Flags. Now this is amazing. If you didn't know about this engine, this is crazy. I mean, you can even use this in a Splite. Well, can you do that? Well, I mean, it works with Splice level 2, but anyway, I digress. Anyway, Nemesis Flag says you can target 1 banished monster. You can target 1 banished monster. 1 banished monster. You can target it, shuffle that target into the deck, recycle it. That's why we only need to play 1, 2, 3, just like on TV. 1, 2, 3, a true anime deck. 1, 2, 3. That's why we only need to play 3. Return it to the deck, and then you can summon this card. But then, during the main phase, you can use Nemesis Flag's effect to search the deck for Nemesis Corridor and target the 2nd banished card, special summon the Corridor. But there's more, because a Thunder Monster was summoned from the hand. You can now summon this man. And because I searched my deck for a spell under the power of Cross Sheep, I now have this, the Dark Element, live in my hand. And with the power of the Dark Element, I can now summon this card, or if I'm feeling spicy, if I'm feeling like I want to summon the towers, if I'm feeling like I want to play 3 copy of Dark Honest in my deck, I can summon these. Now, because the Dark Element is in the graveyard, it has a once per turn effect that you can only utilize if you've done these things I've just told you now. By using the power of the Dark Element, you can return a card from your graveyard to your hand. And one of those cards that you return, any Guardian card that lost its way to the grave, probably the Guardian card you used on Prisma's effect. Now that card has been returned to your hand, but that card must be sacrificed. that card must be offered yet again to the graveyard as a resource to summon Himseti. So we talking 2 Horus monsters, which is 1 rank 8 beast. We talking a floating non-target thrice button negate. We talking double battle floodgate. We talking a restriction on adding cards from outside of the labyrinth. There will be no adding cards from outside of the labyrinth. You must use what you came into the labyrinth with. Not to mention the 1 card we will have left in our hand. And that 1 card can be this, Maxi for game. That 1 card can be this, Ash for game. That 1 card can be this, Called by the Grave for game. But if none of these cards have been forced to activate, the 1 card can be this, Power Filter. Power Filter in the labyrinth. If you can't target my cards, and you can't attack my cards, and I've got spell and effect negates, how are you gonna make it through the labyrinth down the power filter? How are you gonna do it? Guess you lose. Guess it's over. All this power. Check out my notes. 99%. 99. I hope you can see that. 99% consistency rate. The shadows, they tried to take me. Let me come back. I want to come back. Let me try again. The shadows is taking your boy. Damn. What has happened? Restore my likeness. Yeah! I've told too much truth. They're trying to destroy my stream. Don't let them do it. Hit the like and subscribe button so that I can survive. Oh, I'm back. Okay, I'm back. I did it. Whew. I had to upload the downlink so that I could come back, and that was pretty scary. Okay. All right. So now that I have explained my starters, my extenders, and I've also explained to you turn 1 and how disgusting my labyrinth is, how deep and narrow the power filter can truly be, now that I've explained that to you in excruciating detail, they even tried to take your boy out this dimension for telling you the truth. This is the deck that the AI built. I only just put a little spice on it, my boy. I'm telling you right now, the AI put most of this together. I added the Nemesis, okay? It was me with the Nemesis and me with the dark combo. But the AI put the cards together and I made the combos and added the engines, my boy. But I'm gonna show you that chat in 1 second, my boy. Now listen, now we're over here. I wrote down turn 1 staples and tech. We had room for basically 8 cards, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, I counted my floodgate, but let's just say we're not counting this because I didn't count it in my calculations. I counted it as 7 because my floodgate, I said any continuous floodgate, because another good floodgate you could run is this. It's crazy. What? Because I got a card back with the power of the dark element, and I used Inseti's power to put 2 big monsters on the field. Because they can come back as a free resource next turn, it is nothing to me to offer them up for the cost of my trap card, which says your opponent cannot activate a spell card unless they send 1 spell card from the deck to the graveyard. Their deck must be in distribution. Their deck must be in distribution if they want to play in the labyrinth. Right now, we're only in the filter. I have not yet began a tantrum. I haven't started a tantrum. Right now, we're just in our filter era. This is just the first build of this. But basically, we're working with 7 turn 1 staples, which are 3 Ash, 2 Called, 2 Maxi, and then I'm running any continuous floodgate. Anyone you like, anyone you find, summon limit, whatever. The required engine cards are 5, and I don't like this because your standard opening hand is 5. That means it's possible you could open with 5, but it's highly unlikely that would happen. But basically, our 5 engine cards are the 3 Guardian cards: Song of Thunder, Suijin, Kasijin, and the Dark Guardian. And then also you got Happy, and you've got the Blessings. I don't know how to say his name, but basically that's your 5 engine cards. And I want to call them engine cards because they're not garnets, because people call things garnets because they are useless and they serve no purpose. But even in Gamma decks where you have Cyphering Gamma in the deck, Gamma serves a purpose when he's on the field, turning into a Synchro 8. You know what I'm saying? So there is no, I want to just get rid of that whole conversation of garnets because you're ignoring a card. I want to just focus in what it actually means. What it actually is our engine pieces. They're engine parts, and in order to run this deck optimally, you need to run 5 engine parts in the deck, and that's not bad. Come on. It's a 2-card combo deck, requires 5 cards that are engine, that synergizes with the deck, that are recycled in and out to do things. That ain't bad. That's all. It's not bad. It's not bad. Now, the extra deck is separated thusly: Gate Guardian names, Nemesis engine, turn 1 cards, turn 2 cards, XC's engine. Your extra deck should be set up in a similar way. Combo line 1, combo line 2, turn 1 inboard, turn 2 inboard. Combo line 3. Your extra deck should be just like that. Your extra deck should have 3 combo lines, a turn 1, and a turn 2 inboard. If your extra deck doesn't facilitate you in that way, you might have a little room for improvement. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying you're bad. I'm just saying there's a little room for improvement. That's why I made the AI. That's why I made the book. That's why I'm doing the stream. You see what I mean? Come on. Slide through the power filter. Come on. Now listen. Right now on the Guardian set, we already know what we got. Then on our Nemesis engine, you have this, and you have Cross Sheep. On our turn 1, you have Appaloosa, Boa the Goddess, and SP Little Knight, as I mentioned, hard to hit through the labyrinth. And then our Xyz engine, if we're going above and beyond, if we had if I had that a continuous trap that caused me to offer 2 monsters, I would consider this in this somewhere in this calculation, but I wouldn't put it there under the Xyz engine, in the Xyz under the extra deck part. But basically the Xyz engine is just pretty much Hope Harbinger, spell, effect negates, extra deck, messer wither, monster killer, combo breaker, any effect negate, floodgate, dump it, like pretty much. So even within the 5 Exceeds cards, I have a turn 1, a turn 2, and I guess you could say these are additional combo lines. You know what I'm saying? Just depending on how stuff happened. Like things got real bad, and for some reason I ended on Goblinberg and another 4. I don't know. You know, hey, babushka. You know, it's within the whole stun style. Oh, things went bad, but for whatever reason, the opponent would probably have a really hard time if they couldn't play their very first card going into this guy. Oh, everything went pretty bad, but we're on a pretty even level here, and I have a monster that can mess with the extra deck and prevent my opponent's aggress at least for 1 turn. Here we go. So the deck has been built in this manner, and I have some data here for you that the AI has already completed. So I'm gonna just pop over to here. This is the AI's conversation. So it all started with this. I said, use the browser to search cards. Sorry, I'm gonna say it again. Blah, blah. Use the browser to search for cards that can search for a level 7 Dark Machine, 2400 attack and defense. I should have said monster, but I didn't. It's looking for a monster with 2400 attack defense. But see, again, it knows what you mean. The card I'm referencing is Labyrinth Heavy Tank. See, I even covered my butt by calling out the card. Relevant to the Gate Guardian archetype, because basically I was looking for a card. This all started from me trying to figure out, do I need to use the Labyrinth Heavy Tank? And I told you at the end of this, I came to the conclusion that you do not need to. So it gave me all this information, told me to use Small World, all these other things. It provided a lot of info. We went back and forth. We talked about it. We talked about machines. We talked about like other stuff that was related to it. It was trying to give me Earth machines or Dark machines, all this other stuff. But the way it was trying to synergize wasn't the way I was trying to synergize. So then I said, use the browser and tell me about the Gate Guardian archetype. I want to know the key starters and combos of the deck. And then when it used the browser, it used 4 sites. Let me see. It looks like it used Infinite TCG, Master Duel Meta, YGO Pro, and another Master Duel Meta clip. So it took all these websites, took a look, analyzed the key combos, contextualize that into a small report, and then I sent another request. I said, I want to use the Dark Element spell card to summon Doc Guardian. I have a reliable combo, because I already understood how I need to do it. So where I place at least 1 Sangha monster from the spell trap zone, I need an easy method to do the same and special summon from the hand. Like, use the browser to find a solution. And then they told me all these solutions, but it wasn't optimal. They were okay. Then they start talking about Angel 07, and I was like, no, you're tripping. I like, you're daydreaming. I like, try again. Don't use the browser. Then try to tell me use Tempest. Now I said, use the browser, search the web for a competitive Gate Guardian deck. After we fully explained to one another what it was and what it wasn't. Then it came through with this deck list, which was 3 Nibiru, 1 Saga of Thunder, 2 Suijin, 3 Labyrinth Heavy Tank, because it wants me to use it, 2 Kasijin, 1 Destrudo, which, you know, Synchro style, 3 Shadow Ghoul, 2 Prisma, 2 Magician Souls, 2 Illusion of Chaos. And then the spells are 3 Fusion Deployment, 3 Hero Lives, 2 Sacred Sword of 7 stars, Terraforming, which is banned, I think, 2 Pre-Preparation of Rites. Pre-Preparation of Rites. I don't know why that's in there. But Pre-Preparation of Rites. Oh, for the Magician Soul thing. 2 Pre-Preparations of Rites, Ryoku Guardian, Called by the Grave, 3 Double Attack, Dragon's Ravine, 3 Labyrinth Shadow Walls, and then traps 2 Prey by Jirai Gumos. And then the extra deck, as I take a look at the extra deck, what do you see in here? I'm seeing the turn 3 closer access code talker. So it thinks it obviously can close out a game with access code talker, and it's using a maxed out version of the extra deck with ancient fairies. So it proposes a bunch of strategies to do the basic stuff, but there's no real method of doing it. And then I basically asked it, I was like, is this deck created based on what was available, or did you copy? Or I said, is this a deck you created based on what was available, or is this a copy of a deck? And it basically mashed together all the decks that it found. So I don't like when it does that, but basically when it's doing that, it's giving you a consensus of kind of what the flow is. And as I looked at this deck more, I got a consensus of pretty much this deck was good at serving up at least one placement of the Gate Guardian set of 2 cards, 3 if you're lucky. So you can either go to the Fusion 3 or the Fusion 2 is what I came up with after this. And then after that, that's when I kind of started to work on the deck. So I came to the conclusion that I needed to have the hypergeometric distribution rate to be at 2 cards. And I'll save you the process of this, except for tell you this one part. I just started out with this. In an opening hand of 5 cards, provide the hypergeometric distribution rate of drawing at least whatever number of, should say, key cards from a deck of 40 cards. And then you should illustrate what the other cards are. I would just say illustrated as other. And then we went through a bunch of different calculations for a bunch of different parameters, which I have here just in short. Because again, look, when it's calculating that shit, it's doing this. It's literally using Python code. It's not playing with your boy. It's using Python code to build this deck. So after we finish doing that, fast forward it all the way down here to the end. And after we fast forward down to the end, where did I put in the actual deck? Oh, here it is. So now I'm done with the deck. I finished building the deck. It provided the numbers that I wanted. So this is basically what the deck ended up being. So with my Go First package being at 7 cards, I have a 36% chance to open with 1 card of those 7. With my extenders individually being at 14 cards, I have a 31% chance of opening with just 1. With the engine being 19 cards, I have a 39% chance of opening with just 1, and meaning those garnets. And if the starter cards, which I'm sorry, not the engine at 19, the engine's at 5 cards, but the starter cards, which are at 19 cards, there's a 34% chance of opening with 2. But when you combine the starters and the extenders together, and you use the rule of 2, and any combination of those 2 cards will get your full combo live, that's a 99% rate that you will draw it. But remember what I told you about hyper consistency. Over 80% is dangerous. And I like that at the end of me building this deck, it is mathematically dangerous. Where the Gladiator Beast deck is mathematically perfect, this deck is mathematically dangerous and runs its starting combo off 2 cards. So what is this deck? A glass cannon. So either you is in the labyrinth or you out of the labyrinth. You know what I'm saying? And that's it, my boys. That's it on the distribution. That's it. That's the full story. And then I took the deck. I took this report that I made. I typed up all that stuff that I told you. All that stuff I just said to you. Typed it all up. Put it in a PDF, and I put it in here. And I said, I've completed the deck based on my research. Reviewed a document and provided complete analysis. It reviews the document. It understood it. It provided all the distribution rates. So now I'm going to have it. I'm going to do like this. So I'm going to say this. Use the browser Is it use the browser? Use the browser and tell me the top decks in Master Duel. Right. As of August 2024. All right. Use the browser and tell me the top decks in Master Duel ranked as of August 2024. So this should be, I'm gonna say top tier decks. Top tier decks in Master Duel as of August 2024. Bam. So now it's gonna put it in there, and now that I've put it in here, I'm gonna ask it to rate my deck against it. I'm gonna ask the AI's opinion of how my deck will contend against these, because it says August 2024, tier 1 Ubel, tier 2 Snake Eyes, tier 1 Ubel, Snake Eye, Fire King, tier 2 Branded, tier Levent, Labyrinth, not our Labyrinth, and Rescue Ace, not our Rescue Cat. And they said tier 3 and other, Mathmech, Purely, Splite. All right. So here's the question. Here's the question. I'm gonna say use the data use the use the document, put it in quotations, and the data we have accumulated, and tell me how my deck would do. All right. Normally I talk it in. It's kind of funny typing it in, but basically, all right. Use the Dark Element Gate Guardian deck file and the accumulated data, and tell me how my deck would compete. That'd be a better word. Compete against the top decks. Provide a win rate percentage based on me going first. Actually, I've never tried it like that, but I'm gonna try it like that this time. All right, it says use the document and the accumulated data and tell me how my deck would compete against the top decks. Provide a win rate percentage based on me going first. I've never put me going first at the end, but I wonder if that's gonna have any type of effect. Ooh, okay. Okay, so wow. So according to this, it says, here's the summary. Your Dark Element Gate Guardian deck appears well equipped to handle the current top tier metas, especially when going first. The combination of control, stun, and consistent combo potential gives you a strong chance to establish winning conditions early in the duel. So it's literally telling me, if you don't get it started early, if you don't get an early lead, you will get clapped. So saying go second is kind of dangerous. However, matchups against resilient decks like Snake Eyes, Fire King, and Labyrinth could be challenging if they disrupt your setup. Basically, it's saying, you know, you might get blown out if you can't get set up on turn one. Overall, estimating a win rate going first of 60 to 65% against top tier decks. This win rate indicates that the deck is competitive, especially when you have the advantage of going first. Continue testing and refinement, in particular, on how to adapt as the meta shifts will help you maintain and improve this performance. It was saying against Splight, 60% win rate on that. Labyrinth, 58% win rate. Tearlament, a 62% win rate. I can see how that could happen. Branded, a 65% win rate. I can see that. Snake Eye, a 55% win rate. I can see why it's 55, because I can see how you could really get going, but then again, I can see how it could get lost as the graveyard gets more powerful. And then Duelist is a 60% win rate on that, which, I mean, I can definitely see closing out some of the bigger summons and stopping some of the effects. But honestly, Ubel's effect to deliver damage might, you know, I would kind of change this around. I would say Ubel would be the harder matchup, because I lower my life points potentially twice in this deck down to 2,000. So this deck could definitely, Ubel could definitely like eat my lunch, so to speak. So I would say it's closer to 60% than it is 65%. But at the end of the day, my boy, this is how I utilize the AI to build a deck, refine the deck, turn it into something amazing, make it into something special, and then before you know it, you know, it's time to get in there like swimwear. So that's it. That's the end of my TED Talk. Returning from the dank dimension. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So now it's going to open up some packs now that my TED Talk is complete, because we do need to technically, we still need to buy a Hope Harbinger, and I need some voiceless voice stuff, because if you see me, you saw me cooking like that. You saw me cooking like that. Boy, dude, come on. I am going to hop into solo mode and show you guys real quick, but I am going to buy some packs first because we need to get Hope Harbinger. Yeah, we need to get Hope Harbinger, and we need to get Voiceless Voice, and we also need to get this guy. We need to get a lot of stuff from this pack. And we got 4,500 gems. So, yeah. And then honestly, you know, I would imagine Ubel would probably be one of the hardest matchups. I think the AI just, you know, again, the AI doesn't, the one thing the AI can't do is a real-time duel. And because it can't do a real-time duel, it's, you know, it doesn't understand like the context of paying half your life points and getting goofed out of the game because, you know, Ubel effect. You know what I'm saying? It's not thinking about it in that context. But as you can see, it's all about asking the questions. Yeah, Voiceless Voice is very expensive. It's 11 URs, but I did see that there is a good low combo, which is a normal summon, but it ends on an Omni. That's pretty worth it. That's a good engine, because basically you should look at each archetype. People should really stop looking at archetypes as decks. Like everyone should look at an archetype as an engine, period. The deck is what you build. You make the deck. The archetype is just engine parts. So that's why this Dark Guardian deck has Guardian, the Sarcophagus, and Nemesis. Every deck needs 3 engines. So that's why I say it's all about how you think about it. And when you start thinking about it in different ways and recontextualize it in reality, like mathematics or something else that's relevant outside of just the context of the toxic sludge, which is the echo chamber of the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Because at the end of the day, what happens is you get in the wrong echo chamber and negativity gets into your mind and dread gets into your mind and it affects your gameplay, period. It's no different than when Mike Tyson went into the locker room and said to his opponent, hey, you looking pretty tired. Hey, you looking all right? You looking pretty tired. That's no different than me saying, hey, Max C's pretty scary and you better look out. And if you ever see Max C, you're going to lose. The minute someone plays Max C, you're going to get a sinking feeling in your stomach and feel like it's your worst day in the world. But when you change your perspective and understand that you're just dealing with mathematics, probability, and then skill goes on top, you're playing a different game, my boy. You're playing a different game. So that's you know, and even in real life, that's how the game works. So, you know, even right now, I'm recontextualizing, changing up, and adding a third summon to my life. You know, I'm refining the deck of my life. But, you know, hey, that's just how it is. Like a true anime character, we all got a purpose. You know what I'm saying? We all going somewhere. Ooh, look at this dashing debonair individual. You said play DDD against the meta today? I don't have the resources. I mean, honestly, it's looking like I'm gonna go Valance to tell you the truth, because the way that these cards are coming out, I'm synergizing closer to Valance as I'm getting these URs, and you know, the wallet is of consideration. You know, for somehow out of nowhere, you know, things got expensive and crazy. But not out of nowhere. Y'all know how that happened. Blessed. Pregnant? No, I was pregnant. Pregnant with knowledge. As the philosophers would say, I was pregnant with knowledge, but I have given birth on this channel through the process of hypergeometric distribution. I was looking at Raid Raptors too, because those are wing beasts. Like that's another thing too, because if you think about Yu-Gi-Oh in the way that I just told you about, your deck is your deck and everything else is just engines, then that means that you're gonna have a certain amount of decks, and then if you're gonna have a certain amount of decks, and that means you got a certain amount of engines, and pretty much if you master 3 decks, you'll have enough engine to build other decks, which is how I was able to build this deck, because I had other engine. Just, you know, because I already had Mseti, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have to go get Mseti. But if I didn't have Mseti and I had to go get Mseti, and I had to go get Mseti to play Labyrinth, then Mseti wouldn't have got. You know what I'm saying? Mseti only got because they were helpful to the Gladiator Beast. And it just so happens they happen to be helpful to our Labyrinth brethren. So, you know, it is what it is. But the DDD, though, does have an ability to access that third summon through Yubel or through other Fiend-related engines like Fiendsmith coming up. So I think DDD has a lot of potential because they lock you into Fiends, and Fiends have been getting better. So I definitely think we can do something with DDD. I just don't got any DDD extra D. Lord, I don't know if y'all remember, that was the Wabaku prayer from back in the old school Yu-Gi-Oh. Yes, lo, the prayers of the voiceless voice. I'm probably the strongest voiceless voice player already because I'm so loud. And I'm like, a moment of silence for the voiceless voice. I'm like, of course. Don't ever do that. But that is funny. If you make a movie, put that in your movie. Don't ever do that in real life. A moment of silence for little Timmy O'Toole. Of course. Just don't look up. Keep your head down. Wait till they go back to whatever it is that they were doing, but it's going to feel awkward. All right. If you ritual summon exactly one ritual monster, warrior, or dragon with a card effect that requires use of monsters, this card can be used as the full tribute. Yes. You can only use each of the following effect of low once per turn. If this card is normal or special, place a voiceless voice continuous spell trap card from your deck in the spell trap zone. I need some water, but we have no water in the basement. If a light ritual monster, warrior, or dragon is special summoned to the field while this card is in a graveyard, you can hit that like button right now. You can special summon this card. Basically, this is the card that gets a lot of value, and I also like cards with odd attack and defense points of 50. I like that too. That's just a cool thing. Also 3 effects, you know what I'm saying? I do still play Duel Links a lot. I still play I play Rush Duels a lot. My son and I play Rush Duel all the time. We still get in there on Rush Duel. I just haven't been competitive, and honestly, real talk, it's changed for me. It's hard to explain how it's changed for me, but it's changed for me. But it's changed for me not in an Amiibo Dan to YTDan type of way. It's changed for me in terms of I've grown so much as a duelist, and my power has leveled up so much as a duelist that it's tough to go back to Duel Links, only because there's not a lot of upscale. There's more upscale in the TCG and Master Duel, just because that's where the passion is. So, you know, but I will go back to it eventually. But I have to, before I can go back to Duel Links, I must actually defeat one metagame. There's one metagame, ladies and gentlemen, that I am fighting in, that we're all fighting in. You see, we are in a metagame on YouTube, users and consumers. You know, you're a user, you're a consumer, or are you a content creator? Like, what are you doing here on YouTube? You know what I'm saying? And from YouTube's perspective, user and consumer are the words that I would use after reading through their stuff. User, consumer is how they see all of us. But the metagame I need to defeat is the metagame to find my lost audience. You see, YouTube's algorithm is set up in a special way, a special means. In order for me to grow back from the darkness, in order for me to make any kind of living, before I can do anything on YouTube and call myself a YouTuber and survive, I must somehow find, access, touch upon every ancient subscriber and let them know I'm worth looking at one last time. That's the secret meta on YouTube, if you already have a channel. So it's an epic battle to win, and I'm in there because I understand the game, I understand the rules, and I've got the top tier strategy. The only question is probability in my favor? That is the only question. And only time will tell, my boy. Only time. Nani? Only time will tell. Well, what did they do all that stuff for? Also, If I can find me a GTA barber, that'd be cool too. But honestly, right now, my first goal is to master the Master Duel. I still got some goals I need to hit in Master Duel. Like, that's why I say I call myself a full-time duelist and not a full-time YouTuber, because my YouTube goals and my dueling goals are aligned. But with my dueling goals as a priority, I can do nothing but succeed. You see, the dueling goals created the AI. The dueling goals wrote the book. The dueling goals is the inspiration that made me even think to do any of this stuff. So that's why I gotta stay on the dueling goals and not become a YouTube maniac. Top 10 things. Today's the bad list. Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh's dying. Oh. I just can't do that every day, every week. I don't see how anyone can do that. But a lot of people do that. And that's what YouTube is right now. But when I'm done with it, that's not what YouTube will be. I will change YouTube on my own or die trying. I will change this entire spectrum of what Yu-Gi-Oh is. I will create stronger duelists, and I will create better content creators. I will create better content. I will change the precedent of what the status quo is on YouTube. Mark my words. Because I have powers beyond your average duelist. That's all. Anyway, once per chain, if your opponent special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can special summon an ice barrier monster from anywhere, then change one attack position monster your opponent controls to defense position. You can do this twice per turn. Nah, I'm gonna turn you to dust. You're gonna become Hope Harbinger. You're gonna be Hope Harbinger. You're gonna get dusted. Yes. What is this? Oh, ice barrier. Ignored. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The game is dying every 2 weeks, but you eat off the carcass of that idea. So, I don't know. Again, you know, hey, and don't get me wrong. You know, I was actually telling my wife about how it's always interesting how, like, these big things happen on YouTube or in the world or whatever, and the reaction on YouTube is pretty much like it's kind of just like the Colosseum in Rome. Like when they would have the beast games and they would kill all the animals. What did you think they did with all those dead animals? What do you think they did with all that meat? The gladiators ate the meat. Some of the spectators ate the meat. Those are exotic meats in a diet for people who didn't have meat normally. Tenderized on the sands of the Colosseum. So when a big dragon is slayed, like a drake, for example, when a big drake is slayed, there's going to be a ton of videos, posts, articles, a whole lot of yapping so that everybody can get to snacking. And that's and that isn't in me to do YouTube content. I can't do it like that. I can't do it. I can never do it like that. And so because I can't do it like that, I've got to do it the way that I can. And how is the way that I can? By me applying all of my knowledge and focus into bringing you art. To bring you art. All this coming together is art. Art coming down through the medium of YouTube as entertainment. So, you know, you might watch some guys get on here and stream and yap and do whatever they do for the sake of whatever they're doing it for. But I'm just being clear, you know, I'm just doing my due and giving my light, and I'm hoping that it'll be enough. to hold me through these trying times, because I have disassociated myself from all outcomes, because that's the only way that you can survive as a man. You must separate yourself from outcomes, get focused, and win. So let's see if we can open another low, because I'm gonna be low if I don't get 3. I'ma need the 3. Actually, I need at least one more low. This is actually one card we did not talk about, Princey Pug. This card works well with all of the Gate Guardian cards that can't be normal summon or set, but I just, you know, this is a bridge too far. You don't need that one, but it was a nice one. So yes, my boy, when you come to my table, everybody eats. That's how it was back in the day when my friends used to come to my house to play Yu-Gi-Oh. When they came to my house to play Yu-Gi-Oh, everybody would literally eat on my table because I cooked. So if it wasn't White Castle sack of 30 back in the day, sack of 30, we used to get the Miller High Life sack of 48. And or I would fry up some chicken or whatever the fuck. Yeah, and we all eat at my table and play Yu-Gi-Oh. And that's what I'm doing right now. You know, playing Yu-Gi-Oh with the boys, and we all eating at my table. So everybody, get your spoon and a fork, my boy. Get to eating, my boy. Enjoy it. Raid Raptor, Rising Rebellion Falcon. Also didn't mention, technically in our deck, we can manually exceed summon a Zeus because the Gate Guardian levels align, and that's funny. The Gate Guardian levels align. We can manually do a Zeus, my boy. Yes. Yes, this is going to be different than your locals, my boy, because I might be the first, but I'm not going to be the last of the enlightened duelists, my boy. When you see the game from a different perspective, you realize kind of what you're doing. And like, for example, I sit down with the Gate Guardian deck. The AI said 60%. I estimated 40%. Between that, 50%. I'm guessing a 50% win rate with that deck. Oh, I thought I got Omega Blessed. I just got a little blessed. I'll take it though. I'll take it though. So I'm guesstimating a 50% win rate. You see, because basically, just like the Paradox Brothers, that deck is doing what? Relying on that coin toss. Come on, man. The deck is in theme and in season. You see, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the beauty of Yu-Gi-Oh. If you can see those things, if you can read between the lines in a Yu-Gi-Oh deck, duel or cards, then you can see and read between the lines of life. Or at least that's what I've discovered. I was about to say, you bet not prismatic that. What's for dinner tonight? I'm not cooking tonight. I cooked last night. I made barbecued ribs. We had barbecued ribs. It was delicious. Barbecued ribs. Ooh. I still got some bratwurst left over. I might get some of that. All right. We have opened the packs. Duel Live. Oh, that's kind of cool. We'll have to submit our deck here because clearly they don't have any representation for our deck. So we got to put it there. All right. Now that we've done that, let's go do a demonstration. Oh yeah, you can look at the deck in the demonstration world. What? Now we have two different places to practice the deck, right? Or three different places. I got a favorite place I like to practice. I have a competitive place I like to practice. And then I have a gauntlet I like to play. This is the gauntlet we're not going to play. This is the competitive, which I've explained is about going first or going second. Cards like Maxi, Evenly Matched, Imperm are inside of the digital bug cyberspace. But Gladiator, the glory of the Gladiator Beast, the Gladiator Beast beckon other beasts with amplified effects. The stage is set for a frenzied fray. I love to practice here, especially when I'm going first. Because when you're going first against this deck, if the deck can't handle whatever you're doing, they just go scoop. All right, dismantle. And we're going to look at the order obtained. And we're going to look at the rarities. Oh, no, sorry. We're going to go to UR. And then we're going to hit order obtained. My first, look at this. My first ever URs in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. To prove I'm a legend. To prove I'm that guy. First UR before any other UR. Let's go. Before Ash. Before Ash. Before Access. Before Maxi. Come on. You gotta hit the like button. Check and see what your first card was. Check. Come on, man. I'm the real one. Come on. Then the Tri-Brigade came. Then the DDD came. And then the Valance. Where are you going down to? And then after the Valance, what did we get? Yep. Then the new Pendulum era. We haven't played that yet, though, but we still got it. And then we got into the Mseti. And then that's it. And Stratos is way down here, though. That's actually new stuff we need to get rid of. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. All right. So now we're going to go ahead and do, what is this one? 1, 2. Unaffected by it. And we can do Stratos. I think that's it. That wasn't enough. I mean, well, that's good enough. We need another low, so, you know. Ooh, is this free? Okay, never mind. All right. So now let's practice, my boy. We got an opportunity to do a quick demonstration. Now let's see what happens when mathematics gives us our first hand live on stream. And the distribution. Full distribution. Wonderful. Yes. All right. So the first things first, we want to use, we opened up with our combination of 2, right? We even have an extender, right? So what is the combination of 2? It is a guardian name in the monster zone. It is a guardian name in the spell trap zone. And then it's going to be a monster on the field that link to in the cross sheet. And by doing so, we can go nuts. I do need zombie vampire. That's a good call out, but it was zombie vampire or Hope Harbinger, and I picked Hope Harbinger. I'm sorry, I like the N word. I like to run that negate. So let's go ahead and do this so I don't have to do it a second time. Activate this wall shadow, pop the wall shadow. Wall shadow searches the deck. Now, we can get any one of the 3-gate guardians. Also love how they put all 3 in front of you like this. I don't know why this just looks so cool to me. So I like to place, if you want to do it like this, we're going to place the wind monster here in the spell trap zone, right? Now, because we don't have a means of special summoning Prisma by any means from the deck, the next best thing is a normal summon. and we have enough to do it twice. So if I was playing against my opponent, I would activate this card and I would try to bait an Ash. But if I don't get ashed, I'm gonna normal summon. Here's another time I could be ashed. But if I didn't get ashed at the one space, I shouldn't get ashed at the next space. So we've got the wind monster in the spell trap zone. Now we're gonna pick the Gate Guardian, Thunder and Wind, or you can really pick anyone with a brown monster on top, honestly, you know, brown monster on top, that's me. But you know, you can, you can, you can, okay, sorry. I got real silly all of a sudden. But then you're gonna summon this guy. I mean, pick this one to send out the Song of Thunder, okay? So now we got Song of Thunder in the grave set up, and we've got the Wind monster in Spell Trap, and we've got the Song of Thunder technically in the Monster Zone. This is technically set up 2 layers, just like in the anime. So we take these 2 cards real quick. Bam. 1, 2. Not link them off. Contact fuse them. I don't know, whatever you want to call that. Contact fuse them. Summon Gate Guardian, Thunder, and Wind. Pop the effect. Now search the deck. Now we happen to open with this. So as you can see, I'm on 2 cards right now. As you can see, I'm on 2 cards right now. And we opened with this, okay? So we can run this without the Imseti engine. We just need to run more viable stuff. Maybe stuff to just special summon, like a spell card or something, but whatever. Doesn't matter. Like I'm saying, search the deck for a card. And we don't have to search for double tap because we already got it. We're going to take this one right here, Dark Element, because Dark Element's going to break our combo. So add the Dark Element. Okay? Now that we've got Dark Element in hand, now we're going to use Imseti, because now we need to get our second card on board, because the whole reason why we can't use Dark Element is because we don't have a Gate Guardian in the graveyard. We have a Song of Thunder, whatever that is, but that's not a Gate Guardian. So we need to get it in there by link summoning. So let's use Imseti's effect to send Prisma, the extra, to the grave. So technically we're operating off of 4 cards really. To go and get King Sark, Doro, we got Foolish. I mean, not Foolish, Called by the Grave. The reason why I kind of don't want to play this deck going first is because of draws like this. Doing all this comboing and then drawing into Called by the Grave. So again, I might change and go second later, but let's stay focused. All right, now we're gonna activate our spell. And now that our spell's on the field, we can bring back Imseti. Now Imseti's on the field with the Guardian of Thunder. Remember, open 5 cards uninterrupted. Right now we're on 8 cards, 3 cards in hand. We are on our 2-card combo. Now link 2 into the cross sheep. Okay, this is the power, my boy. Link 2 into the cross sheep. All right, this is the power of the AI. YTDan made manifest, my boy. Made manifest. Now the Dark Element has been unleashed. The Dark Element has come. The time has come to play the Dark Element, and based on what we know, we can summon this or these. Now, if you summon this card, it's a towers, it's unaffected by your opponent's effect monsters and activated spell cards, and can't die by battle. If you summon this, blanket field protection over targets, negate and destroy 3 times per turn, and it floats into the previous guy that can't die by battle. Technically, this guy is the Minotaur in the Labyrinth, okay? So this is what's going on right now. So now we're going to special summon the Gate Guardian Combines, but we're going to summon the Combines right in the lap of the sheep. Now the sheep's lap activates, and summons forth another card from the graveyard, bringing back the Prisma. Now, why is it relevant that it brings back Prisma? Because if it was the Nemesis engine, it would bring back Nemesis engine. But since it's not Nemesis engine, it didn't bring back Nemesis engine. It brought back Prisma. So basically, no matter what you do, it's gonna bring something back level 4, and it's gonna be whatever your extender was, or Prisma. So, in the graveyard, we'll use the power of the dark element, banishing it, and adding from the deck Suijin. Okay? And we're far from done, because now we can use the King's Sarcophagus to send Suijin to bring forth. And I like to bring forth this one, because you bring this card forth, any card that leaves the field you get to draw. But if you bring this card forth, any card that leaves the field, you can get 2 cards back to your hand or deck. So let's just go with this one for now. Now from my graveyard, we're gonna bring forth a monster. Now, we've set up our field. You didn't really have to use this effect, but I used the effect because because I could. And we've got everything going here. We've got the board set up fully. Basically, we're in a position to go into Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess right now and have 2 cards in hand, or we can use 1 resource and go a level beyond. I don't know about you, but I like levels. So let's try again. So we're gonna use this card, send it to the grave. Then from the deck, send the monkey. Time to get happy. Happy time. Now, like my boy mentioned, the vampire is good in here because the vampire gives a summon, and that summon can extend and go crazy. That summon can go beyond. But as you can see, if you want, you've got options. If you've got the vampire, you've got an additional body. You know, if you've got if you don't got vampire, then you can do what I'm gonna do. But I'm just keeping it, you know, very simple. But I'm just saying, like these are all the various options you have because you were able to do the combo correctly. But how I like to end it is here. By linking 3 monsters, we can bring forth Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. Now, this is why we run only 1 continuous trap card or spell, because due to the power of our distribution, all the notes and research that you've received, it's always going to be, we're always going to end our combo on 1 card. So set it. This is why I can't make it up to the master rank, because I keep stopping to do these. I gotta get focused and play ranked PvP. Now look, what does this field do? Targeted pop any card. If the opponent attacks, you get a pop. Okay? They can't attack with any monsters with levels unless they're 5 or higher. Okay? And you can place another card next turn. Then, if they try to do anything to dismantle the labyrinth that you just set up, negate and pop 3 times. And if he dies, float into the ultimate. Then on top of that, we've got Oppa USA. She get those ops out of here. So, also, resource protection with recursion through blessings. And you started on 5 cards, and now you're ending on 6 cards. So you're +1, full labyrinth, and you can either afford to have 1 card in your hand to counter your opponent's play, Called by the Grave, Ash Blossom, maybe Maxi, etc. Or you can have 1 card extra to set for your opponent going into the next turn, which will be double attack, any continuous stun card, power filter, whatever, you know? And if you wanted a spell trap negate instead of a monster negate because you wanted to protect everything, you go into Hope Harbinger. All right. I end my turn. So let's see what the Gladiator Beast deck does against this. Let's see what the AI Gladiator Beast deck does against it. It's thinking. Fire Formation Tinky. Since I know this isn't Tri-Brigade Gladiator Beast, that's fine. Nope. Oh no! Excuse me. Excuse the hell out of me. Nemesis. This is great. Now I can show you the power of Nemesis. All right. This is cool because now I can show you even more stuff because of how things turned out. All right, so watch this. Nemesis Flag's effect allows you to activate it from the hand, and you can return a monster from that was banished face up. Summon the Nemesis Flag. Activate Nemesis Flag effect. Summon, add Nemesis Corridor. This is such a perfect game. Thank you. The distribution even gave me a perfect hand for the stream that I was talking about it specifically and didn't. But even this stream is in distribution. Hit the like button to get in distribution, my boy. Now because we can special summon Corridor, we can now bring out the Thunder Dragon guy. Now we can bring out the Thunder Dragon. Now, because we got double attack and grave, we can use double attack to add a card from our deck. I think we can. No, we'll be taking it from there. Ooh, yeah. We're going to use double attack. And then, let's see. We're going to use Yeet. I know what he's gonna. I think he's gonna have Whatchamajig in there. So we have 1, 2, 3. I wonder. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Wait. I think you go. Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Okay. We can do something funny. Okay. This one. Okay. This one. Which one is his 0? Okay. This one is the brown and blue. Okay, brown and blue. All right, we're gonna use this. It's gonna place the brown and then no, this is brown and green. Oh no, it'll be green. So I gotta do. Yeah, see, this is where the math is, or not math, but I don't really remember what all these guys do. Okay, blue and this one. All right, well, forget it. I'm just gonna beat him up. I was like, forget it. I'll just beat him up. We'll just beat him up. Fuck it, dude. We'll just beat him up. Sorry. We'll just beat him up. Oh, he didn't have a hand trap? Poor fella. Poor fella. I wanted to make the one to make his attack 0, but I realized that I got the wrong one. But again, you know, all about mastering this deck, and once you master these parameters that I set out for you, you can definitely get in there, my boy. So take this challenge, my boy. Take the AI challenge, my boy. Learn how to use the AI. Learn how to use AI. It's going to be an amazing skill that you can use in the future in general. Learn how to use multimodal AI in general is going to be a thing and good. So if you learn how to use multimodal AI, you can start by learning how to use it by playing Yu-Gi-Oh, my boy. And again, Yu-Gi-Oh's the gift that keeps on giving, because it's all about knowledge, my boy. And here's more knowledge for you. So that's it, my boy. That's the end of my TED Talk. We kept it within our 2-hour frame of reference. I was able to show you the deck. I was able to show you the AI conversation. I was able to give you the process. We were able to do it all. Now, there's only one step left in scientific testing. It needs to be peer reviewed. So I need you to take this deck, copy, paste. I need you to go into the world and duel, get the results, enter it into AI so that we can learn how strong our distribution can truly be. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Now, we were blessed through the power of distribution with the shiny Dark Guardian. I think that's a good omen for this deck, the stream, and probabilities in general. But my boys, that's it. I appreciate y'all for watching. YTDan is done telling truth for today. Please enjoy this deck that is relatively free to play and should be accessible by most every duelist. I'll catch you in the next one. And as always,